Hi, my name is Payal and I am from the Management Study Guides content team. Welcome to Capacity Planning. Henry Gotham is a supervisor at one of Kirk and Patrick car manufacturing plants. Like any other supervisor in the low-level management, he is responsible for assigning of jobs and tasks to various workers at the plant to meet the daily, weekly as well as monthly production levels and schedules. He also guides and instructs the workers for day-to-day activities and is responsible for the quality as well as quantity of production. Henry ensures that the resources are put to the optimum use and the quality of the products is maintained. He is also responsible for reporting on the daily status to the higher management of the production schedules, produced quantity of goods, etc. Recently, when the budget was announced by the government, they decreased the price of gasoline and diesel by a significant amount. Due to this, there was a sudden surge in the demand for cars because almost everyone wanted to buy a car as fuel prices were more affordable now. The management passed on instructions to its manufacturing plant that they wanted at least an increase of 15% in the daily production level at the plant. The management hopes that this increased production levels would help meet the current market demand and the company can make huge profits from this situation if they succeed in meeting this surge in demand. Henry's boss, Gerard Butler, calls him for a meeting to discuss the situation. He informs Henry that the production levels have to be increased. However, Henry informs Gerard that there are not enough inventories of raw materials to meet the increase in production quantity. Gerard passes on the information to the higher management, who realize that this is a grave situation and that they just do not have enough raw materials to increase their daily productivity limits. Gerard suggests that they could contact the suppliers and try to procure the raw materials. However, when the suppliers are contacted, they inform Gerard that they would not be able to supply the required raw materials before another 3 months due to the huge demand from all sides. Gerard discusses the situation with the higher management. Gerard as well as the management knows that they have failed to take advantage of the increased market demand and have failed to make huge profits out of the situation. You have seen how Kirk and Patrick car manufacturers failed to meet the current market demand as they were not able to increase the capacity of their manufacturing plants. Hence, you can understand that it is extremely crucial that the capacity of the plant should be planned properly, keeping in mind such situations where the plant may be required to overproduce as well as underproduce than its normal productivity levels. Therefore, capacity planning can be the competitive advantage that can help an organization to succeed and help fulfill the objectives and strategies of the organization. Let us now learn about capacity planning in detail. Here are the objectives of this course that we will be covering. Define capacity. Explain what is meant by capacity planning. Describe the types of capacity planning. Explain operations, scheduling, and workplace planning. Describe the types of operations, scheduling. Explain what is aggregate planning. Explain the strategies of aggregate planning. Explain production planning and control. Explain the inventory models. Describe the principles of material handling. Explain planning and scheduling maintenance. Explain waiting line queue management. List the characteristics of a queue system. Explain the principles of world-class manufacturing. Describe world-class manufacturing techniques. So, let's begin. What is the purpose of capacity planning? The primary purpose of capacity planning is to meet the current and future level requirement at a minimal wastage. There are 3 important tasks performed by operation scheduling. Number 1, allocation of resources. Number 2, workforce scheduling. Number 3, production equipment scheduling. In a situation where capacity does not match the demand, an organization can try to balance both by various alternatives, such as Number 1. Laying off hiring for lesser or excess workforce until demand decreases or increases. Number 2, including overtime as part of scheduling, thereby creating an additional capacity. Number 3, hiring a temporary workforce for a fixed period or outsourcing activities to a subcontractor. Number 1, independent demand inventory model talks about raw material demand, which is dependent upon the prevailing market conditions and is not correlated to any raw materials currently used by the organization. Finished goods are an appropriate example for independent demand inventory model. The material handling principles are as follows. Orientation principle. It encourages study of all available system relationships before moving towards preliminary planning. The study includes looking at existing methods, problems, etc. Systems principle. It integrates handling and storage activities, which is cost-effective, into integrated system design. Standardization principle, which encourages standardization of handling methods and equipment. Unit load principle. This handles products in a unit load as large as possible. Premise of queue theory. Some common queue situations are waiting in line for service in supermarket or banks, waiting for results from computer, and waiting in line for a bus or to purchase a movie ticket. The general premise of queue theory is that there are limited resources for a given population of customers and addition of a new service line which will increase the cost aspect of the business. In order to be able to solve problems related to queue management, it is important to understand the characteristics of the queue. A typical queue system has the following characteristics. Number 1, arrival process. Number 2, service mechanism. Number 3, queue characteristics. Number 4, service configuration. Let us look at each of these processes in detail. With every course, you get to view the course content online, download the PowerPoint presentation, and get the course completion certificate. With new courses added regularly, we offer you a continuous learning platform. Join our premium membership plan and get access to unlimited courses. All our plans are backed up by 30-day money-back guarantee. If you are not completely satisfied, we'll give you a full refund. We are so confident that you will enjoy the membership that we are willing to let you try at our risk, not yours.